The latest round of Indo-Canada row has only added to India's troubles, and India and the Bharatiya Janata Party have only themselves to blame for this, for putting India into this position. Now, I have been warning Indian agencies, especially the armed forces, the president, the Chief Justice of India, about all of this since December 2022. I didn't need to do that. They would have themselves known because they have better tools available to assess where the government is heading, where its policies are going, and what is the eventual end that they will reach at. In July 2023, I had also written to the External Affairs Minister, S. Jaishankar, and Indian embassies in US, UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, sharing with them information about videos of a man called Gaurav Arya. Now, he's some ex-major from the army, so he goes by the title Major Gaurav Arya, and he makes these videos, and he also conducts this Chanakya dialogues, wherein the army top brass and people from other agencies, etc., come for dialogues on the security parameters and etc., etc. Now, this man in 2023 makes videos and gives the suggestion that hundreds of millions of dollars be given to underworld, to criminal syndicates, and to get people who they classify as threats to the country, people who they call as Khalistanis, they be eliminated, their families be troubled, their children be, followed, etc., etc. All of this immediately meant to me that this man is giving a call for waging a war against another country on their land. The repercussions of something like this, we know, are very, very serious. And in fact, it can lead to major troubles for India. Unfortunately, none of these people paid heed. The External Affairs Ministry and the embassies overseas, at least I never got a reply from anywhere. And very soon, we had these revelations by the Canadians and then the Americans, then supported by the Five Eye Network, of what was being done on Canadian and American soil. What is also being done is that this is part of a much bigger ploy. There is a transnational plot at play to create an image and create a brand, create a branding rather, for Sikhs across the world. They are troubled by the farmers' protest. They are also troubled that Sikhs are the only people who will be probably the first one to rise against their authoritarianism of turning the world's largest democracy into a dictatorship. That's why they have been going after Sikhs for a very, very long time. The right-wing organizations, they deface buildings, temples in other countries, and then the local partners for them, their local right-wing media, it picks up this and projects it as some Khalistanis have done it. And then the local Indian media, the so-called national media, the so-called media also, they're not even, I don't even call them media, I call them all propaganda channels. All as in the ones who are being used by the BJP, RSS, the government, and their right-wing handlers. They then run these stories and massive campaigns. Look at Amritpal's case. Even the Punjab and Haryana High Court had said that how is it possible that 60,000 police personnel, besides thousands more with various agencies, they could not catch Amritpal, and he was on the run. Almost on a daily basis. There were news which were run that he's here, now he's there. So this was all part of a big campaign which was run to implant in the people's head that yes, something, this boogie called Khalistan exists. This is all just a part of their long-term strategy to destroy the Sikh image, to harm the Sikh image, to tamper and tarnish the Sikh image, which today Sikhs are present globally, something which they are not able to digest. This has been going on repeatedly. One incident in Australia wherein a temple was defaced. Stories, massive campaign was run. Oh, the Khalistanis have done this, and then Australian police later on issued a statement after its investigation that in all likelihood this was done by people from inside the temple itself. This is how unreligious, anti-God these people are. That they will use even temples for their nefarious activities. Should that temple not have been closed down permanently? Should people not have started to boycott that temple permanently? Should that temple itself not be labeled as a place from where criminal activities are being conducted? And soon after that, Modi went to the US, to Australia, and standing with the Australian Prime Minister, raised this issue that these things should be addressed. First of all, who is Modi to speak about issues for Hindus globally? Is he the Indian Prime Minister? However, he became a Prime Minister, that's a separate issue. But is he an Indian Prime Minister or is he a Hindu Prime Minister? Above all, Hindu, there's no religion per se as Hindu. They've started using this whole Hindu to use it for their advantage and to try and bring people masses together. But Dalits constitute this Hindu, and how do these people treat the Dalits? So that's for another time. But recently also, there was an incident in Italy wherein a Gandhi Murti, which was supposed to be inaugurated by Modi when he went to the G7 summit, where I don't know if he had any business going there or not, because India is not part of the G7 summit, but okay, he was invited. But there also, the Gandhi Murti was defaced, and then a smear campaign was run that Khalistanis have done it. And this time round, I followed it through and through. I asked ANI, which ran the first story. I first reached out to another media who had run the story. I asked them, where did you get information that Khalistanis have done this? Then they said ANI ran this story and we just took it from their feed. And mind you, tens of media channels picked up this story. I reached out to the Italian embassy, I reached out to the Italian government. None of them have given any statement about who the perpetrators of this act were. So it's again very possible that Indian agents placed there, these right-wing agents or somebody else did that intentionally, and then they ran this smear campaign, massive smear campaign that, oh, Khalistanis have done it. So this is nothing but a transnational plot to defame Sikhs and harm Sikhs and murder Sikhs. And for this, the government of India, the ruling party, the agencies should all be held accountable. I've been saying this for a long time, that their agenda of spreading poison is now going beyond the nation. And before they do something which is truly devastating, we've seen the effects of their work in the country, but people like Gaurav Arya should be taken as CC2 or CC3, because these are the people who are implanting these thoughts in the heads and minds of these idiots who are sitting in the government. And then those in the government are executing these plans and executing them in such a stupid fashion that they are getting caught like children trying to commit some crime. And the worst is the economic impact on the country. You take it beyond a certain point, it will start having repercussions for Indians traveling and living overseas. I have said this again and again. I've written it in my book. I've written it to the army, to the president, to the Chief Justice of India. I call him the Chief Injustice of India. I've said it time and time again, that till when will people not react? Eventually a point will come that you will start seeing people retaliate. And that's when you will start having problem for students. Lakhs of students study in Canada, in US, in UK, Australia and New Zealand. You will start seeing problems for our people who go and work in these countries. You will start facing PIOs who are living there for generations. They may start getting targeted. So this hate is, but now it's not just hate. This hate and this crime and this terrorism is now spreading globally, and this needs to be addressed before it's too late. Players like Gaurav Arya and everybody else need to be taken to task. The External Affairs Ministry, the External Affairs Minister, all top heads of all agencies, they all should be taken to task, held accountable for what the government is doing. And again, I'm saying, in legal parlance, this is known as waging war against a country. And that's what Trudeau has also said in his recent statement, that India has compromised Canada's sovereignty. We may also have to pay the price in monetary terms, wherein these countries will use these incidents as bargaining chips and force India to buy their weapons, force India to compromise its own economic interest in favor of their industry, in favor of their corporations. We can't even imagine what all can be bargained for the crimes India is committing. The recent $3.5 billion drone deal could be something which has been forced on India. Did we get the best drones? I don't know. Did we get the best price? I don't know. But we did buy these drones. And all of this is actually waste, because in India also, our people are not safe. We hand over weapons in the tune of thousands and lakhs, weapons and ammunition, what we've done in Manipur. But again, that's another separate issue. But this global downfall of India's image has serious impact on our economy, on our foreign investments, on our economy, and it cannot be allowed to continue. All of this is also part of my petition in the Supreme Court, seeking the annulment of the results of the general election 2024, because the kind of people who are allowed to contest, all these people should have been behind bars, but we've let them lose and we've let them contest and come back to those same very seats of authority from where they can cause more harm and damage. We'll be doing a press conference hopefully very soon on this entire issue. But today, through this brief video, I wanted to share about this transnational plot at play which is being executed to harm Sikhs and the Sikh image, and to create rifts amongst Indians across the world. Thank you.